Hello traders, this is McBillion. Today is March 18, 2015. Let's talk about the market. Let's start with the spider. The spider, as you can see here, got a great day today, and the volume today was $228 million. It usually moves between 120 millions and 150 millions. It was a great volume, and you can tell right here it break out the Fibonacci 20850 and it break out the 20 simple moving average. That is bullish. Now, ADX is below 20, as you can see here. That means that it can move sideways here, but the whole move looks strong and it looks that it's gonna go to the top. It never made it to the top right here, but it never made it to the bottom right here. So it's very interesting to see if we can confirm the 20 simple moving average breakout right here. This breakout right here about if the price goes about today's high and continue to the top, that will be really interesting. This is gonna be some resistance around 212. That's gonna be the resistance 212, and but the market changed a little bit today. And if we go to the Russell, we use the IWNs. That's the iShares Russell 2000. Look at this. This is very strong. This is very strong. And this one, the Russell, represent the small caps. And when the small caps are strong, it means that people are buying. Small investors, middle investors are buying. So this looks strong. It's making new highs. You can see the resistance at 124.75 Fibonacci extension, and that shows us that it's really strong. If we go to the down, you can see here that the down is very strong at the 180.84 Fibonacci resistance, and it's trying to break out this level. It break out the level before back in February 20, but it went parabolic and it tested the 50 simple moving average, which offer a little support, but now ADX is very low and we got a crossover, meaning that it can still move sideways here until it goes to this apex area, since I see like a triangle, ascending triangle wedge right here, and it's gonna be really interesting. Overall, it looks bullish again because we got a crossover and the volume is great. So that's another sign that we might go and get some swing trades for next week. Now let's talk about the VIX. If you see the VIX, that's another signal that it failed at the 50 simple moving average right here. It failed at the $16 level, and it looks like it's gonna go to the $11. So that means that the S&P, that the Russells and the Dow Jones is gonna go higher, and this one is gonna go to the 11 area where all the other stocks are start moving up, especially because we're gonna get to the earnings report season. So everybody start to put in their bets in the favorite stocks to see if they can get money. So now let's talk about all the ideas that I have. I have Apple in my watch list. It went back about the 125 level. So this was my level. This is the level that we exit our trade, and now the boost took over this resistance, now support, and it looks like it's gonna make new highs. So I probably gonna enter this one tomorrow if it goes about to today's high, which is the 129 level. If it goes about that level, I'm gonna enter long. I like the ADX. In the ADX, as you can see here, is very strong. It's about 20, and we got a nice crossover with a lot of space right here to go to the top. So it might go to 134, 145 is my target for the end of the year. So I like Apple right here, so it's gonna be in my watch list for tomorrow. Let's talk about BABA. BABA is my watch list also because it break out finally at 20. It's playing right there. It's not getting a lot of momentum, but as soon as we get a crossover on DMI, let me show you, they're very close. You see they're getting close, and ADX is very high. So it means if we get a crossover here, this thing is gonna start moving up and probably get to the 100 area. We have BABA long term, meaning we have the stock in a long term portfolio, but I would like to enter long using auctions, which will bring more money to our portfolio. So that's another one that is on my watch list. Now let's talk about let's talk about Jill. Jill is in a long-term portfolio, so you can tell right here that it hasn't changed much. It's playing right there. But if we break out this resistance, you see this resistance right here? If we break out that resistance, I'm gonna enter long using options, because this one, if you break out this resistance, is gonna go really nice to the 120 or 130 area. Right now it doesn't look bullish, but ADX is trending up. It's right now at 14, but it's trending. It was at A, now it's trending, and as soon as we get a crossover right here on DMI, and we get a breakout of this resistance, I'm sure this is gonna go higher. So keep it on your watch list, because this is gonna be a nice trade if we can enter long when you break out that resistance. Now let's talk about Goldman Sachs. You can see right here, there's a very bullish chart. It doesn't have nothing bearish about it, and the 50 simple moving average has been the support in this area. Every time it goes near the 50 simple moving average, it bounces, and it's going to report soon. It's going to report on April 16, and I think it's going to go to the top, which is the Fibonacci retracement 197.59. Every time it goes there, it fails, but this time looks different since we don't have a divergence. ADX is very strong, and the crossover right here makes me think that it's gonna test the 197 area and finally is gonna break out. So this one is another one interesting to enter long. So now what is my level to enter long? I see some resistance here. It was resistant back in the February, in the middle of February. So the level to enter long, you can write it down. If it goes about today's high, which is 193, if it goes up about 193, get long, and just be careful of 197.59. But I really think that finally it's gonna break out that level. Now let's talk about Facebook. This is another one that is in a long term, meaning we own the stock, and we're just waiting to see if we can finally retake the 82 area. That's the key number to enter long using the stock. We were long right here, but it started moving sideways and we closed the position. So I'm gonna wait if we break out the $82, and if we break out that level, we can enter long using auctions, especially in the money auctions, April or May. So keep an eye on this one because it looks really bullish. There's a lot of consolidation right here, and the key level is 82. ADX is very low, but I think from here it's going to start trending up, and that's going to bring a lot of momentum to the stock. Now let's talk about GG. That's Gold Corporation. This is another one that you can put in your watch list. There's a huge divergence right here on DMI, meaning that the bears are very weak, and if we go to the 17 area, I think this is going to bounce to the 20 area again. So keep this one in watch list. It's a very nice stock to trade because it usually moves very nicely with the DMI, and it has a lot of volume. So if you can get it at 17, 20 or 17, it's gonna be a nice entry. Or if you can get it about today's high, which is the 1930 area, you can also enter because I think it's gonna go to this resistance, which is about 23 or 22. So you have a couple dollars there to make money, even if you use the stock. So keep that one in your watch list. Now let's talk about Link. This is another one that is very bullish. It's trending up, as you can see right here. It's a nice trending up, and now it looks like it wants to close this gap right here. You see this little gap right here? It wants to. Usually the gaps, when you have a gap like this, usually it acts like a magnet. Price usually wants to close the gap. But right here, you can see here, this is a Fibonacci support, and it's holding to close the gap. I would like to buy it if it goes to close this gap and get long, or if it goes to this support right here. Now, it also can be, we also can buy this one if we break out this resistance. You see this line right here? If you break out this resistance, we can also enter long because I think it's very strong, and you can tell the ADX is at 28 with bulls in control. So this is a beautiful chart that you have many entries right here to go long, but you can see here the support. This is no major support, but the magnet to close this gap is a very strong also, which is at 238. If it goes to 238, it might bounce hard, but if you also break this level right here, this resistance, this thing can fly. So be careful with this one. This is a nice setup right here, but it's very bullish. So just follow the plan. Now let's talk about Loco. Loco, this is a momentum stock. It's a very tricky stock to trade, but I wanted to bring it back because I think it's getting a lot of momentum right here. If you know how to read reports, you will like the report. They beat expectation last time, and it looks like it wants to close this gap right here. You know, it went up on the day when they report, and now it looks like it wants to close the gap around 24.50, and from there I might enter long using the stock, but also can buy a few calls because this one can move really fast to the $30 area. So I will see if it brings more volume, and I will send alert if I'm gonna enter long using the stock or the auctions. So be ready. Now let's talk about the last one. Let's talk about CAT. This one is a very tricky stock also, but when it moves very nicely. You can tell here there's a double bottom right here, which is very bullish, and we're about to get a crossover on DMI. If we get a crossover right here on DMI, I'm sure we're gonna go to the $85 and probably break out. So keep this one in your watch list. This is a nice one too. The 20 simple moving average can be another level to enter long with half position, and we can enter the other half position when it break out the $85, with the target being $100. That's the target. Okay, traders, this is everything for today. Trade on.